Dear students, we are conducting special lecture on today, that is a revision lecture on module number first, environmental concept. In this lecture, dear students, I will take detailed review of the module number first. In module number first, there was first topic, environment. In this topic, I will discuss about what is the meaning of environment, what are the definitions of the environment. So first, meaning of environment. Dear students, the meaning of environment in the dictionary is surrounding, and it is defined as the sum total of all external conditions which influences man, animals, plants, etc. during his lifetime. It is complex of physical, chemical, and biological factors that act upon an organism and ultimately determine its forms and survival. So that means, dear students, whatever thing which found around us, all that things are included in the environment. So this is very simple meaning of environment. After that, next I will explain about definitions of environment. Different subject experts and in different dictionaries, there are different definitions of environment. So first definition of environment, which is given in business dictionary. According to this business dictionary, environment means the sum total of all surroundings of the living organisms, including natural factors and other living things which provide conditions for development and growth, as well as of danger and damage. So that means environment. Then another second definition, which is given by Tansley in 1980. So according to him, environment can be defined as the sum total of those effective conditions in which organisms live. Then third definition of environment, which is given by K.R. Dixit in 1984. So according to him, environment can be defined as the space we live in, the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, and the other sources we need constitute our environment. So that means, dear students, environment means surroundings, and whatever things, whatever factors which found around us, mostly these are affecting on the growth and survival of the living organisms as well as human population. So that whole conditions of the around which found around us, it is called as environment. Then another, dear students, next point, component of environment. First, I will explain about what is component of environment. Dear students, the various features which constitute the environment are termed as component of environment. And basically, all the components of environment we can classify into two different types. First, natural or physical component. Second, human or cultural component. Okay, first I will explain what is the difference between natural and cultural component of the environment. Natural component of the environment, it is made by the nature. Whatever nature made factors which found in the environment, from all that factors, this natural or physical component is made. Then human or cultural, it is made by the efforts of human population. Whatever things, whatever factors, okay, which made by the man in the environment, from that factors, this human or cultural component is made. Then natural or physical component of the environment, it is basically divided into two subtypes. First is abiotic component and second is biotic component. Okay, then dear students, I will explain about what is abiotic component. Okay, abiotic component, it is made from all the non-living factors. Okay, and mostly all these non-living factors, they are affecting on the growth and survival of the living factors, living organisms on the earth. That's why here is need to detail discuss and study about that factors. So first, location. Dear students, location, it refers to site, situation and the position of the environment on the surface of the earth. Okay, and dear students, the site, situations and positions which found okay, of the living organisms on the surface of the earth. So in different areas, different situations, okay, different positions, these are found, and mostly these are affecting on the growth and survival and development of the human population. So that's why there is need to detail discuss about the different types of locations. So dear students, there are four different types of locations. First, absolute location. Second, relative location. Third, maritime location. Fourth is continental location. So first you listen about absolute location. Absolute location means the location which express with the help of latitude and longitudes on the surface of the globe. So that is called as absolute location. It is fixed location, it is permanent location, okay, and it is most important location to give the idea about, okay, so what kind of situations and what kind of positions which found in that place. Then second is relative location. Dear students, this relative location, it express with the help of physical and cultural factors which found around us, that place or location. Okay, that location, it is called as relative location. For example, when we want to express the location of India, we can express that India is located to the northern sides of Indian Ocean. So this location, it is called as relative location. Here I have taken the reference of Indian Ocean. Okay. Then next, maritime location. Dear students, those locations which found near the coastal areas, near the oceans and seas. So that locations, these are called as maritime location. Okay, and it is the most important location for the development of international trade. Okay, so you see most of the mega cities which found in the world, these are located near the coastal areas. Okay, because near the coastal we can construct the port facility, and from the port facility we can develop the international trade. Okay, then another continental location, the location which found in the interior part of the continent, away from the oceans and seas. So that location, it is called as continental location. For example, you take the example of Pune. It is a continental location. Mumbai, it is maritime location. Mumbai, it is very close to sea. Okay, Pune, it is far away from the sea. So this location, Pune, it is called as continental location. Okay, when we take the example of countries, so India's location is maritime location. And when we take the example of Nepal, so Nepal's location is continental location. Is it clear, dear students? Okay. So after that, next, second most important relief features. So our earth, it is in undulating surface. Okay, there are different relief features which found on the earth. Okay, plain, plateaus, mountain, mesa, butte, escarpment. So these are the different kinds of relief features. Okay, but basically, okay, all the relief features, these are divided into three types, that is plain, plateaus and mountains. So regarding that, I had already explained in detail. Okay, so 90% population of the world, that is live on the plain area because it is favorable for the growth and development of human population. Remaining 10%, so that population, it is living on plateaus and mountain areas. Then third is geological structure. So the interior part of the earth, it is also most important, because in the interior part of the earth there are found different kinds of rocks and minerals. Okay, and these are useful to us for our economical development. Then climate. So dear students, climate, it is affecting, okay, on the agriculture activity as well as other human activity. So that's why what type of climatic condition which found in that areas, so it is most important factor. Then energy, it is the main source, okay, to run the machineries for the transportation. And in the environment, dear students, sun is the main source of energy, and that energy, it is converted into different forms, okay, by the different factors. Okay, and that energy we are using for our economical development. So in that way, these abiotic factors which affecting. Then dear students, next, biotic component. Biotic component of the environment, it includes soils, plants and animals. So dear students, soil, okay, so it is biotic component of the environment, but some scientists, okay, they said that it is a biotic component because there is no movement, there is no life of this soil. Okay, but some scientists, they said that soil, it has productivity, it has fertility, it has capacity to give the birth, okay, to the seeds, okay, plants. So that's why they are included soil in the biotic component of the environment. Then plants, okay, this is the most important factor in the environment. Okay, it is called as the producer. It produces food, okay, for itself as well as for the other living organisms. That's why these green plants, they are called as autotrophs and self feeders. Okay, then another third, animals. Dear students, except green plant, all other living organisms, they are depend upon green plant for the food. Okay, that's why they are called as consumers. Consumers are the animals which depend upon other living organisms, okay, for their food. They are called as consumers, and there are variety of consumers in the environment. That's why they are called as heterotrophs. Okay, then types of consumers. When we see the types of consumers in the environment, okay, there are herbivores. These are the plant eating animals. Carnivores, these are animal eating animals. Omnivores, these are both plant as well as animal eating animal. And decomposers, after the death of green plant and animals, it become a food of decomposers, that is bacteria and fungi. Okay, so after that, next I will explain about what is the structure of the environment. You see, dear students, the structure of the environment, so it is basically divided into three systems. First, physical system. Okay, it's include basic, the natural framework of the environment. And this physical system, it is interconnected with three geospheres. First is lithosphere. Okay, and this lithosphere, it is made from Sial and Sima, and it is composed different kinds of minerals. Okay, then second is hydrosphere. Hydro means, dear students, water. The 70% area of the earth, it occupied by the water, and there are different water bodies. Okay, so fresh water, and saline water. So fresh water, it is most important for the human population, for the drinking purpose, agriculture purpose, industrial purpose. Okay, so but its percentage is very low in the environment. Okay, then atmosphere, the gaseous cover around the earth is called atmosphere. Okay, and whatever gases which found in the atmosphere, okay, these are variety of gases, and their percentage is also not equal or not same. Okay, 78% nitrogen is there in the atmosphere, 21% oxygen. Okay, and other gases, helium, neutron, argon. So these are minor gases, their percentage is very low, that is only 1%. Okay, then you see, dear students, biosphere. Okay, so biosphere, it is a small area which occupied by the living organisms on the surface of the earth. Okay, so dear students, biosphere, it's include, uh, it means these living organisms, some living organisms, these are found on the surface of the earth. Some living organisms, these are found in the water body. Some living organisms, these are found in the atmosphere. So that means, dear students, the small area which occupied by the living organisms in between lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, it is called as biosphere. Okay, so in the biological system, dear students, this biosphere, it is the most important part. So regarding that, okay, just now I had explained. Then ecosystem, it is the relationship between living organisms and their surrounding physical environment. Okay, it is the most important functioning unit in the environment. So dear students, this natural ecosystem, we can again divide into two main types: aquatic ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, so aquatic ecosystem is the ecosystem which develop in the water body, and terrestrial ecosystem, it means the ecosystem which develop in the water body. Okay, sorry, terrestrial ecosystem means the ecosystem which develop on the surface of the land. So that is terrestrial ecosystem or land ecosystem. Okay, so dear students, the aquatic ecosystem, we can again further subdivided into marine ecosystem, freshwater ecosystem. Okay, freshwater ecosystem again further subdivided into river, lakes, wetland ecosystem. Okay, then terrestrial ecosystem, it is again further subdivided into forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, and mountain ecosystem. Okay, and the third most important system of the structure of the environment is cultural system. So dear students, it is a man-made or artificial system, and it is an outcome of man's modification of natural landscape to make a life comfortable. Okay, and it is superimposed on the physical system, that is man. Okay, develops agriculture to produce food and raw material. Okay, and it's include, dear students, industries, transport, towns, cities. Okay, so these are the most of the examples of cultural landscape, and it is most important part of the structure of the environment. Okay, so after that, structure of the environment, another next most important concept is biogeochemical cycles. So dear students, first you try to understand what is biogeochemical cycles. Okay, so dear students, all the living organisms require two things to live on the earth, that is energy and nutrients. Okay, energy always lost in the environment. Okay, we are getting the energy from the sun. Okay, and that converted into organic energy by the green plant. Okay, and whatever energy which we have taken, so this is lost in the environment when we do our work. Okay, some physical work which we do, okay, this energy, it is lost in the environment, it does not recycled. But dear students, nutrients, matter, it is neither created or nor destroyed, but it cycles through the ecosystems. Okay. So, dear students, the inorganic nutrients like carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur cycle, okay, not only through the organisms but also through the atmosphere, oceans and rocks. And since these chemicals pass through the biological as well as geological world, okay, we call the overall cycles as biogeochemical cycles. So it means, dear students, in this movement of nutrients, okay, so some of these biological factors, some of the geological factor and some of these chemical factors are also involved. Okay, that's why it is called as biogeochemical cycles. Then dear students, you see there are different types of biogeochemical cycles. Okay, first is gas cycles and second is sedimentary cycles. Okay, gas cycles, it include carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, and water cycle. Okay, and sedimentary cycles, it include phosphorus cycle and sulfur cycles. Okay, so these are the different types of biogeochemical cycles. After that, dear students, next you see about the ecosystem. Okay, so in this topic, dear students, I will explain about what is the exactly meaning of ecosystem. Okay, then its definition. An ecosystem, dear students, it consists of all living organisms in an area along with the non-living component and their interactions. Okay, so this is very simple meaning. Okay, it consists living organisms along with their non-living component. It means biotic and abiotic factors from the environment. They are included in the ecosystem and they are interacting with each other. So then definition of ecosystem. So the definition of ecosystem, which is given by A.G. Tansley in a 1935. So according to him, ecosystem can be defined as the system resulting from the interaction of all living and non-living factors of the environment. So he said that, okay, the ecosystem, it is a system. Okay, and in that system, all the living and non-living factors, they are interacting with each other, okay, for satisfying their needs and requirements. You see, here is shown about it is a land ecosystem or terrestrial ecosystem, and it is a aquatic ecosystem or water ecosystem. Okay. After that, dear students, next types of ecosystems. Basically, there are two types of ecosystems: natural ecosystem and second is artificial ecosystem. So natural ecosystem means the ecosystem which is made by the nature, like forest, desert, grassland, mountains, ponds, lakes, rivers, oceans, etc. So it is the example of forest ecosystem. Then artificial ecosystem means the ecosystem which made by the man. Okay, like gardens, parks, okay, crop fields, okay, aquarium and zoo, etc. Okay, you see, dear students, it is garden. Okay, so it is the example of artificial ecosystems. After that, dear students, next I will explain about components of an ecosystem. So dear students, the ecosystem, it consists of two main components. First is biotic component and second is abiotic component. Okay, biotic component, it's include all living organisms, that is plants, animals and microorganisms. Okay, and they consist of producer, consumers and decomposers. First about producers. Okay, green plants. Okay, these are the producers in the biotic component of an ecosystem. Okay, they produce their food, okay, with the help of environmental factors, and the process which involved in the producing food, that is called as photosynthesis process. You see in this picture here is shown about, okay, photosynthesis process. For the photosynthesis process, it required sunlight, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, then water from the roots of the green plant. Okay, with the help of that factors, this green plant, okay, they produce the food, okay, and emission the oxygen in the atmosphere. Okay, after that, dear students, next, consumers. Okay, so consumers, these are the herbivores which get their food directly from the green plants, then carnivores which get their food indirectly from the plants, and omnivores which get their food, okay, directly or indirectly from the plants. So in that way, consumers, okay, they are obtaining their food, okay, in the environment. Then decomposers, these are the micro living organisms which decompose the dead plants and animals, okay, and they decompose complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances, okay, in the soil, and which are again used by the plant for their growth. Okay, so in that way, decomposers, they are playing important role in the environment. Then another abiotic component. Okay, abiotic component, it's include all non-living things. That is air, water, soil, mineral, sunlight, temperature, wind, etc. Okay, you see all these factors are shown here. Okay, and their role is also important in the environment. Then after that, next concept, that is food chain. Okay, first you try to understand what is food chain. A food chain is the flow of food energy from one organisms to next, and to next, and so on. Okay, and this sequential flow of food energy from one living organism to another living organisms, so it is called as food chain. Okay, you see this sequence is, dear students, green plant. So these are the producer. These green plants are eaten by the deer. Okay, these are primary consumers, and deer is eaten by the lion, so it is secondary consumers. This sequence of flow of food energy from one living organism to another living organism, so it is called as food chain. Then second, you see, dear students, uh, in this example, grass, it is producer. Okay, grass is eaten by the insects. This is primary consumer. Insects are eaten by the frog. This is secondary consumer. And frog is eaten by the snake. This is tertiary consumer. So this sequence of transfer of food, it is called as food chain. Then another concept, food web. Okay, so you try to understand what is food web. Dear students, when uh, particular kind of food is not available in the environment, in that critical situation, okay, so whatever food is available in front of them, okay, they are eating and meet their food requirement. So in that situation, so all these food chains, these are interconnecting. All the food chains, these are interconnecting, and there is very difficult to explain about how the food is transferred from one living organism to another living organism. This complicated transfer of food from one living organism to another living organism is called as food web. Okay, you see these are the examples of food web. Okay, then after that, next, that is, dear students, resources. This is the last topic in module number first. Okay, so dear students, first about the meaning of resources. Okay, a resources is anything that is used to satisfy human needs. Okay, and typically resources are materials, energy, services, staff, knowledge, or other assets, okay, that are transformed to produce benefit, and in the process may be consumed. or made unavailable. Okay, so this is very, very simple meaning of resources. Then definition of resource, which is given in Cosmo Dictionary of Geography. So according to this dictionary, resource is defined as a features of environment, so that is of value to man in one form or another. So it means, dear students, whatever useful things for the human population, so all that things are called as resources. And basically, dear students, resources, these are developed in the environment through these different three terms. First is endowments. These are the things which are available in the environment, but human population, he does not know, okay, about that things, and because of that, he is not able to use of that things from the environment. So that is called as endowments. These are just available. Then potential. Okay, in this term, human population, he knows the use of that things, but he is actually not using that things for satisfying their basic needs and wants. So it is the potential. And this potential, okay, later on it converted into resources. Resources means the things and substances, okay, which use is known to the human population. They are using that things for satisfying their basic needs and wants. So that is called as resources. Dear students, resources are dynamic in nature. Okay, so these are continuously changing because of human development. Then, dear students, types of resources. There are two basic types of resources: natural resources and human resources. The resources which are made available by the nature is called as natural resources, and the resources which are developed and created by the man, so it is called as human resources or man-made resources. Okay, these are two basic types. Then there are variety of resources which found in the environment. So basically, all these resources are classified into different types on the basis of different criteria. So first most important criteria is on the basis of frequency of occurrence. On this basis, resources are divided into two different types: ubiquitous resources. Okay, these are found everywhere on the earth, that is air, sunlight, and soil. Then localized resources. Okay, these are found only at a few places on the earth. For example, coal, natural oil, and iron ore. Then second criteria which we are using, that is on the basis of ownership of resources. So basically, resources are divided into three different types: individual resources, national resources, and international resources. Individual resources, these are utilized, okay, for the benefits of an individual or family. For example, your house, skill, knowledge, etc. Then national resources, okay, these are collectively used or developed, okay, by the people for a particular nation. So these are called as national resources. For example, rivers, minerals, forest, etc. Then international resources, okay, the all the materials and non-material things which found in the environment, okay, it is called as international resources. For example, atmosphere, ocean, these are the examples of international resources. Then next, on the basis of nature of resources, on that basis we can divide resources into two different types: organic or biotic resources, okay, and second is inorganic or abiotic resources. Okay, so organic resources, it's include all the living things. For example, forest, okay, domestic and wild animals, fish, etc. Okay, and inorganic, it's include non-living things, that is mineral, rocks, and climates. Okay, then this is fourth criteria which we are using for the classification of resources. So that is, dear students, on the basis of durability, availability, and regeneration of resources. So this is the scientific classification. Okay, and most of the people, they are following this classification. You see this classification. Okay, so On that criteria, we can divide all the resources into two different types: natural or physical resources, and second is that is human or cultural resources. Okay, so dear students, first uh, I will explain about natural or physical resources. So the resources which made available by the nature in the environment, that is called as natural or physical resources. Are human or cultural resources the resources which are made by the man, okay, created by the man, developed by the man, so that is called as human or cultural resources. So dear students, natural or physical resources, these are again further subdivided into two types. Okay, renewable or inexhaustible resources, and second is non-renewable or exhaustible resources. Then renewable uh, or inexhaustible resources again further subdivided into two types: automatically renewable resources, and second is renewable only with the efforts of man. Okay, then second, non-renewable resources. These are again further subdivided into two types: recyclable resources and non-recyclable resources. Okay, so this is the classification of the natural resources. But dear students, because of human development, okay, and the utilization of resources for the different purposes, okay, most of the resources, these are depleting on the surface of the earth. So there is need to conserve that resources. And basically dear students, for conservation of resources, okay, so we have to use different methods, we have to use resources very carefully. Okay, so basic concept of the conservation of resources, that is reuse, okay, then recycled of resources, okay, and another that is reduce the consumption of resources. Okay, when we follow these three R's in our life, okay, we can conserve the resources, which we can save the resources, okay, we can carefully use the resources, and that resources which we can utilize for the long time. Okay, so in that way, dear students, this conservation method, it is also required for the resource saving. Okay, so that was the part of module number first in our syllabus. Is it clear, dear students? So this is the whole idea, whole brief, okay, about the module number first, okay, in our syllabus.